That one is awesome. Hey there, it's Artifacts. This video I wanted to be doing something different. I want to try to make a bass sound out of just some weird household object. So right here I've got a pair of, well, what is this? A razor or clippers? I don't know. And I'm gonna try to make a bass out of it. So there we have it. I think that's more than enough. So let's find a bit where we have a pretty good sustained kind of sound. Like that. And let's see what the pitch is of this particular sound, because if we want to put this in a sampler we gotta know what the pitch is. It looks like it's in the key of G right here, so let's just say it is a G. That could be right. Although we are at F sharp right here, so it's slightly different in different sections. F sharp again. Let's go into our MIDI track and we're gonna put a sampler inside of it. And let's drag this in here. So now we have our sample. Let's say this is F sharp 2. Now we should be able to, if I change the starting position, we should be able to play with this sound now. Let's see what happens. Because it's an F sharp 2, so this should be the right key. Let's turn this one off. So there we have it. I'm gonna go into my global tab and bring the volume up. So that sounds nice. Now let's drop this an octave. That sounds pretty interesting. Let's add a pitch envelope. Let's do a notch filter. Let's make some automation for this one. So that sounds nice. We can play. Okay, that sounds cool. Let's add a little bit of distortion to it. So we could do the soft clipper. Maybe we can do the hard clipper as well. sounds interesting. I can do a loop mode as well. That could also be cool. If I just make this loop a bit smaller. And now I can actually go and do some crazy pitch bending stuff. Set the amount of voices to 1. Go in here, set the glide time. And then do like a pitch bend down. With maybe 12 semitones. So you can do pretty interesting stuff with that. Now I'm not gonna do the pitch envelope thing. I'm not gonna do the glide either. I'm just gonna make a long sustained note. And I don't think I'm gonna do the loop thing. I'm just gonna I think that sounds nice. Let's add an EQ to this, because we really need to get rid of some of the mids and some of the highs as well, and really start working on raising that bass a bit. Let's add an overdrive. Get rid of some of that rumble over there. Now let's do an auto filter. What if we drop this another octave? Ah, that's too low. Let's add a bandpass. Okay, I'm gonna record that. Wait. Can't I just record? Okay, so that's what we have now. Okay, that's cool. Let's add a bit of drive. Let's add an OTT. Just to bring some of those high frequencies up. And then I think maybe an amp could be nice. just a bit. Makes the bass feel a little bit tighter, I guess, and that's a good thing to do. Now note that I'm only using native Ableton Live stuff right here, so that's pretty cool. You should be able to do this with Ableton Live no matter what. I think all of these devices are included with Ableton Live, even if you don't have the suit version, but otherwise you can do this thing with the sampler device as well, or the simpler one. You can do that as well, but I just like sampling. So we can try the wave shaper maybe. So let's do one final EQ. Okay, so now what I would do is create a new audio track and set the input to resampling and just record this. So now we have that as audio, and now I will create a new MIDI track again. Go in here and take another sampler, and we can drag this in here, and now it should be an F, so we can put the note F in here, and it's an octave too low now, so we should bring it up. Now we have the same thing again as what we had earlier. Raise the volume like that. And now I would, start with adding one voice, turning the glide on, setting it to, well, about 100 milliseconds. Maybe add a little pitch envelope, and we could really go quick on this one and really high. So let's do 48 semitone, it's 4 octaves. Hear what that does? It creates a really nice and we could try, doing something with the loop function. See what I've done right here? It sounds pretty cool already. And if I and then maybe add a little bit of pitch bend to this so that we get a really nice sound. And maybe even go like 12. Seven. That sounds pretty cool, right? So, and now we can If we unlink this, I can say I want the loop to be this. That's great. So now, now you could start actually doing more stuff to this. I mean, I could do like a multi-band dynamics, group that one, and duplicate this 2 times, so that we have 3 of the exact same things. Then solo the low band, solo the mid band on that one, and solo the high band on that one. So now we have, sounded the same, right? But we now actually have, that's our sub, that's our mid, and that's our highs. So now we can actually go in and maybe add a little bit of saturation just to the sub. And I can go in here and I can say, let's just EQ the sub. I mean, there is a little bit of mud in there, so I can just, you know, take a low pass and just that sounds better. So now and we might be clipping a little bit now, so I'm going to reduce the volume of these bands a little. Let's drop them to -5. Come on, you can do it. So now, to the mids, let's add some filtering to the mids. I'm gonna take a notch filter, and I'm just gonna add an LFO to that so that it just changes rhythmically. Let's do a 1 bar. Okay, so that has some movement. What could we do? Maybe add a little bit of erosion to the mids. Let's add an amp after that. Just adding a little bit. The highs, maybe I can add a little bit of flanger to that. That sounds about right. We could do a really slow sync rate. Maybe add a little bit of overdrive. And we can always play with the position. That sounds pretty cool as well, to be honest. And it's all a matter of just trying to get the tone right, okay? So you want to try and find a balance in the sound. And I'm just always trying to make it loud, because you can take advantage of the actual artifacts that come from the distortion. It sounds okay. You might want to do a little bit of EQing in between the distortions, so you can actually shape it. See, a little bit less mids. But you could also actually just create a really sharp point. Start high up. That's a pretty gnarly frequency. Let's just get rid of that one. Let's do it again. That's also a gnarly one, so let's get rid of that one. It already starts to sound more interesting, so we can do another one here. That's another weird frequency, so we can get rid of that. So we're just cleaning it up, basically. So and you can see, just by changing the actual position in the sampler, we can get completely different sounds. That one is awesome. So and you can hear the little thing of the flanger. I might want to bring the release down a little bit. You get that little tilt of the flanger, but I don't really think it's a bad thing. I don't mind it. We might be able to drop the speed a little bit down so that it goes a little bit faster. And now we've basically got rid of that particular thing. I could that sounds nice. So now just remember that we started from that sound. And how long did it took us? It took us half an hour, and I just realized that my camera had fallen down a little bit. I basically just taped this webcam right here in front of me, so it just tends to fall down every now and then. We started with that, and we already have something that sounds like a proper Reese. It's still pretty mono, I think. So what we could do That could actually be cool to do. Group this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna try something out right now. So the loop start, I can change that. Alright. So I can't map that to a macro. That's a bummer. I thought if we could link this to, you know, to a macro. That would have been really cool if we could, you know, add this to a macro, because then I could change these settings later on. I guess I'll just show it to you right now. You have one of them, right? And you have a sound that you like, so let's say I like that one, okay? I'm going to take this one, I'm gonna duplicate it 3 times, or 2 times, so you actually get 3 of them. And what I'm now going to do is, on the 2 bottom ones, I'm gonna detune them slightly. So let's detune this one -3 cents and this one up 3 cents. And we might have to change the volumes a little bit, but let's just see how it sounds. So that sounds pretty awesome. There's only one thing that I think you should do, and that's on the end of these two, you should add an EQ. Because what this does, it's actually changing the pitch of these two individually, so it creates some detuning, which sounds much better than the spread function inside of Sampler. But it adds a little bit of detuning, and by then adding an EQ8 to this and adding a high pass, so let's just add a high pass about here and solo this one. See, we now have a high pass, so I'm gonna copy that one to the other one so that that one is also high passed. And now you can already slightly hear the phasing between the two. But there's no sub, and then the sub comes from the other layer. And you can see right here that we are getting a little bit of stereo difference, but it's not too big, so it's not actually gonna screw up with your sub. Because if I don't do it, I mean, right now you can hear how much sub we have. Throughout the entire clip we have a good amount of sub. If I take off these two high passes, just listen to the sub, it just disappears. It just gets less. I mean, the sub just vanishes for quite a bit. And you don't want that, so you just definitely want to do that. You might want to play around here with the volumes. So you might want to say, drop these all a little bit. And you know, the only downside is that if I change this one now, I'll have to change the other ones as well. Or redo this thing, which is also an option. So there you have it. That's how you can create a pretty cool bass out of a completely different sound. And yeah, I think I actually should do this a lot more often, because It actually creates interesting sounds. So now duplicate this one 2 times, set it to -3 and +3, add an EQ8, get rid of the sub, copy this one and paste it on this track, and now we have a different sound. I don't know what just happened, but that's what we get. So I hope you like this video. I think the outcome is pretty damn good. Well, I don't know actually. What should we do for the next video? I'm still going to be doing the FMate video soon. I'm playing around with FMate a little bit right now, so I hope that I have a better understanding of the plugin pretty soon. Other than that, yes, if you want to get a Splice account for Splice Sounds where you can get samples from specific sample packs and you don't actually have to buy the entire pack, if you want to get that, check the description below because there's a link which links to Splice, and if you sign up you not only get your Splice account but you also help me out a little bit. That would be great. Other than that, yeah, I hope you like this video and I'll see you back soon. Peace!